Hey everyone, welcome to Game 3 in this Friendly Modern League with Curryvore's blue-white midrange deck. Unfortunately, Game 2 was lost. My computer, I finished the match. I'm going to keep this in. I finished the match, and it was against this sweet Bant control list playing like Time Warps and Nexus of Fate, and unfortunately I went up to get a drink after the match and the video was buffering, and I came back to find that my computer had crashed. So that one will be lost to the ages, unfortunately. But it was really sweet. I mentioned during the game, we'll probably play a deck like that at some point. It's kind of like a Bant Super Friends deck, playing Explorations, Eternal Witness, Terminus. I think they had Jace and Nissa, Sage, Animist. Super sweet. So again, probably not the peak of competitiveness, but it was awesome. Temple Garden. Okay. So our opponent did mulligan down pretty severely. Oh gosh. All right. I did feel bad, but now I don't. All right. So first strike. Yuck. So at the end of our opponent's draw step, we're gonna hit him with the old V-click here. See what they're working with. And we're just gonna try our best here to make something of this game. This is now the second league. Okay, so I guess we'll just take your rancor and hope we don't draw you into a nastier spell. Okay, sounds good to me. So we'll go ahead and get in here with the click. And if our opponent does not draw anything, we're going to, I think, snap in, put in double Snapcasters and try and block this thing. Although I guess it's first strike. Never mind, because it can distribute its damage. That's right. So we're not going to do that. That's a lie. Okay, there we go. Stole a game 1 from Bogles there on the back of a crappy hand of theirs. Rest in Peace doesn't really do anything. We're going to keep in all the Wraths, of course. We're going to cut a couple paths. Spell Snare hits Core Spirit Dancer, as well as Dibert Coronet, so we're going to keep that in. The walls might not be too relevant for too long, but I guess Gearhulk's good, because it can just dumpster on their enchantments. Alright, let's try this. Negate. I don't know about Negate. Yeah, let's try this. So hopefully our opponent can get a little bit of a better hand here, get a little more of a game. If we're gonna win a match this league, I would like to feel as though I deserved it. So yeah, that stinks. We lost that game though. It was a really cool deck. So the first game went super long, and our opponent eventually just had like 15 lands in play and was just time warping and adding Snapcasters and Corsairs of Crufix and stuff like that to the table, and eventually kind of beat us down. On the last turn, I just kind of cast a click just to, and he had like Sphinx's Rev and stuff, so I just cast a click to look at his hand, and I saw that he had an Emrakul the Promised End in it. So game 2, we brought in our Negates, our Disdainful Strokes, the Dispels, all that good stuff, and we were trading back and forth for a while. And then, unfortunately, you know, he had this Anissa Sage Animus that he flipped, and we had a Resto Angel in play, and he eventually the Sage Animus just kind of started burying us in cards, and he eventually found that Emrakul, and that was pretty much that. We couldn't find the. I kept in a Supreme Verdict, and I think I cut all the paths, though. So we had 2 Detention Spheres and a Supreme Verdict as an answer for the Emrakul, and we just couldn't draw it. So that was too bad. But it was a fun game. It was a sweet deck. I think our opponent had like 3 minutes on the clock, and I think I still had 7 or so. So, alright, is our opponent coming back? We submitted a deck, right? This clock went all the way down. Not sure what's going on. Hopefully our opponent is at the other side of his keyboard here. Master 2010. That's a somewhat presumptuous name, I guess, but something tells me our opponent. Oh, okay, they are there. So this hand looks like we get run over. Finks can buy us some time. It doesn't really interact with them, and it's a little slow on the draw with the Colonnade. Mulligan. Yikes. Alright, we'll keep this one just on the back of these sweepers and hope we can maybe get there. It's not a white source, but I'm going to put it to the top just because we think we need to have this mana leak up. So our opponent went to 5. And once again, there's probably a decent chance that we can maybe surprise our opponent a little bit. Keen Sense, ugh. That's a good one. Alright, yeah, looks like we're just gonna get run down this game. I don't think there's a whole lot we can do about this. Looking for whites. Okay. So now we have to choose between. I think the only thing that we're mana leaking here is a. Coronet, because we need to find these lands real bad, really fast. Although the ethereal armor kind of puts the screws to us a bit here. We need white mana. All right. I don't know what they could have in their hand. But we're going to flash in a snap here if they don't. do anything just because we can't afford to keep taking damage. Alright, so there's a Colonnade, so we're on the board, and we can Mana Leak a Spirit Mantle or a Davier Coronet or something like that, but Cellular Wreckage does also get around. It's a path. Wow. So they'll give us our guaranteed white source. I don't think they can deal 11 damage to us. I'm kind of surprised to see them bring in Path to Exile. There's the Coronet. Is this guy also playing Mana Tithe? Maybe? Okay. Alright, bud. Ball's in your court. Okay, so we have a ways to go here. Pangolin. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to do this and keep up Gearhulk. Or sorry, not Gearhulk. Settle the Wreckage. Okay, so unfortunately we'll get the Rancor. We should be able to settle their Wreckage here, unless they somehow have two. Oh, it's... Wait, yeah, it's target player. Never mind. Okay. So you... are gonna exile that guy. Oof. Had a panic attack there for a second. Thought I had done a horrible, terrible thing. So I like passing here to keep up the Cryptic Command for a turn, or potentially flashing in the Angel, because if they have another path, I want them to hit the Resto and not our Lyra. Okay. And we're also going to fetch Hallowed Fountain. Okay. Alright. We got a little ways to go, but start the climb here. I think we should be pretty good and stable at this point. Not gonna field any of their lands. We're just gonna keep up the Cryptic Command here and just keep getting in. I don't see any reason to deviate from that plan right now. So what's the worst thing we can do? Just holding up the Cryptic Command. They play out like a couple threats. Yeah, here we go. So why don't we counter, draw, draw an opt. Okay. And then I think we'll play. See if they land a threat here. Alright, so they do good Blade, cover Scout. And I guess they have a bunch of stuff they can suit up on it. The Cartouche. Okay. There's the Rancor. There's the Coronet. and the Griff's Boon. Alright. That's one beefy bro. But unfortunately for them, what does this do? Just so I know. Gains flying. Okay. But unfortunately for them, they're going to have to pick one of those enchantments, and they can't keep this one. So we'll keep this. And this. And we'll say done. So they get to choose their favorite pair of pants and hold on to that. And the rest of those are going to go away. Okay, so they will get to rancor up their Bogle. And so, since they can do that, I'm going to hang both of these back for a turn. Just because I need to make sure... Oh, I should have played the Colonnade. Just because I need to make sure that they don't go nuts here. Oh, they did keep the Griff Spoon. Okay. So we will, of course, trade our Restoration Angel without a second thought. But it looks like we don't have to worry about that. That one can go on the bottom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I should have another land, but I'm a dummy, so I don't. So we'll go ahead and play out the Colonnade. Now we'll play out this one. And we're going to attack with this, because if they have a path, we get blown out. So we're still not in great shape, but we've got a lot of blockers with some sizable booties here, so they should be able to hold down the fort. So our opponent does nothing. Okay. Well, there's a verdict. Doesn't look like we'll need that anytime soon. So let's play out the Glacial Fortress. So if we attack with the Lyra, does that do anything? So we're at 3 here. Once again, I'm just paranoid of Path to Exile. Maybe unreasonably so. So we're going to go ahead and play 1 Kitchen Finks, just to pad our life total a bit. And we'll play another Kitchen Finks. Just get some blockers, and again, get some life total behind us here. So I think we should have this pretty much wrapped up, though. Spider Umbra, okay. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, that's that's all right. So there you go. The Bogles matchup with this version feels a bit better, I guess, than it did with the Luis Savato's Miracle deck I was playing in another league that I played. That I'll be trickling those videos in at some point as well. Maybe just plopping them in. I don't know. The league was a little depressing. Did not do well overall, but I had a good time. So there we go, on the board against Bogles of all things. And again, I think this build has a bit of a better Boggle matchup just because you get these creatures that can kind of get in their way and impede them. Once again, until your flyers can kind of start taking over the game. But so the two big cards I think that this deck has started playing since I was really kind of in the modern circuits last are this Griff's Boon and the Cartouche of Solidarity. So those are notable includes. I'm not sure if this deck still runs a bunch of. I know for a period of time it was running a bunch of main deck Leylines of Sanctity. Again, not that really does a whole lot against our deck, but notably it would shut down our Subtle Wreckage. Of course, that would be a shame. So when the Bogles deck just goes so deep on the hexproof effects that both the player and all the creatures have hexproof, that's when you know that you're really in it. And only having one Supreme Verdict is kind of rough. But this Gearhulk, definitely MVP there. Having them have to trash all of their enchantments that were on their Boggle there definitely allowed us to get the room we needed here to close out this game. So props to this dude here. It's a sweet card. It's a sweet card. So big shout out to whoever discovered this gem. But all right, we'll keep moving here into our fourth match. See you guys there.